This thing looks like it was just pulled out of the bottom of a lake. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We are working on a Centaur, doing a playfield swap. I know I've showed you some, I guess, teaser videos, but this is what we started with. And here's the back of it where we stand right now. So what I'm working on are the drop target assemblies. And this game it's a guilty pleasure with this one if you like drop targets. It's got all kinds inlines, which are my favorite, and so on and so forth. But I thought I'd put a video together on how I basically adjust and clean the drops to make sure that they drop well and the game performs the way it should. Recently had a game in a tournament and it performed flawlessly, and the drops were just up and down like a toilet seat at a Rush concert. Worked fantastic. So this is kind of what I do to prep. Well, first of all, let me go, before I hang you up, I want to show you, it's the only one I could dig up that's kind of assembled that I haven't done yet. So basically what happens when the ball hits the target on top of the playfield, it drops this and activates. There's a little lever here that pushes on this steel thing that closes the switch. So I'll show you the complete relationship. So the drop target is up, and the second she drops, again, it activates the spring, closes that switch. So if you've got a game where the drops aren't dropping properly, they're not resetting properly, they're not scoring properly, this might give you some advice on how you can do it. So don't go crazy with any lubrication. Like, I want to show you a couple of things that you want to avoid. But if there's a pivot point, so for example, you can see right here, it's actually a plastic bushing. You don't really need to put any lubrication on those spots. Just because any lubrication, it's going to gum it up and it's going to cause it not to work. And I see a lot of people doing the same on the coil activators, things like this. You don't have to put any lubrication on. What you should do is use wax, a hard paste wax. And I'll show you what I do to facilitate proper drops, because the friction point for the most part is right here, right where the heel of that shoe is. That goes up and down and makes contact with this little flappy piece of steel, which I will show you a nice clean version of. So first of all, you take your assemblies completely apart, but this is the state of clean you kind of want to get to. All right, and more importantly, these assemblies, which ride on the back of here, okay, there's all the switches. They ride on the back of here. Those are what you want to make nice and clean. And these are them right here. There we go. Okay, what I do is I just basically take some paste wax. Any brand, doesn't matter. And I literally just put wax right here. And just leave it alone, let it dry, and then go back and take it off. And the same with these components. These are the up and down mechanisms that the coils work on. Wax these as well. Do not lubricate these. If they're rusty, treat them properly. I typically just put them in a bucket of Evapo-Rust. I sometimes tumble them as well. The only problem with media tumbling is they get all the grit and everything gets into the components, and it's a bit of a pain to clean up. But just a bit of paste wax on it. Obviously, you want to use new nylon as well. but just wax them up. And all you're trying to do is remove the friction, right? So I'll let this dry and give it a quick buffing, but you don't have to go too crazy. And it will make your drop target life a lot easier. And you also want to do the heel. This isn't as critical because there's not a lot of surface area, but nonetheless, so that's these parts here. These are the actual things that glide on, these glide on these pieces of steel here, which causes the points to register if they're adjusted properly. Okay, so I'm just going to dry these off, and I guess I'll keep rolling. Maybe something else will come out of the video that might be of some interest. Paste wax here. And these are clean, but you can always still see some remnants of something coming off, right? Okay. I did these ones earlier, so I'll just take the wax off them now. And you can literally feel the glidiness of them, if that's a good expression. Yeah, so you can see even though they're clean these things with, typically, if accessible, I'd love to put them in an ultrasonic, but I just typically clean them with alcohol to get any grease or whatever that was put on them in the past, get it all off. Okay, perfect. All right, so I will put, what should I put on first? You know what? Let me put this one on. Attach all these. And see how we roll. I want to change these switches because they're kind of gross. Even though this wiring harness went through, pretty sure I went through a dishwasher with this one. It cleaned everything up beautifully. But, you know, you can't always get everything, right? So, hey, check this out. They're in perfect, but they're not dropping properly. And I'll show you what I think is going on here. First off, when you do drop them, you got to take the tension off the return. Because this is, when the game is positioned properly, gravity pushes this down. But let me just move these. So it's not, that one worked well. That one's okay. Watch, these aren't dropping. So there's a couple of adjustments we have to make, but I think I figured it out. So part of what I do, I'll show you some pictures, is I literally take the entire thing apart, clean it, reassemble it. And I take pictures too, but I think what happened here is you can see this gap here. So this should be on the other side. Of course, I had a bunch of pictures, and anyways, let's give that a shot. I'm just going to move the assembly and see if they drop better. So Okay, good. Okay, let's confirm this works before I put this plate on. And this plate is what does the adjustments for the targets, and I'll show you that in a second. Okay, you might be asking, why am I using this vault instead of a rotisserie? I like it better. It's just basically a fake pinball body, and I can flip this around, I can move it. I like it better. So anyway, all right, let's see what's going to happen here. Or we need gravity here. It's even worse. Okay, comedy of errors going on. First of all, I had this top put on incorrectly, and secondly, then I put the top on properly, and it was still dragging, as you saw. This is this little pin here. I put the horseshoe side on the wrong side. So what happens is it works well when you don't have any. Let me just pop this thing back in here. When there's no resistance, it works very well. Like they go up and down like they should. Trying to do everything once here. There we go. Like they go up very smoothly. But what's happening is the second I put this clamp on, the horseshoe is dragging. It's actually leaving marks. Okay, so what I've got to do is take them all out, reverse the horseshoe, put it all back together, and it should fix it. Okay, spun around the horseshoes. I'm just lifting the gravity thing, and boom. They're all coming up, no issue. Now why is this one giving me an issue? Because I have to do the adjustment over there. Which I'll show you how we're going to do all those adjustments, but the first thing I want to do is I want to put this plate back on. Okay, and what this plate does is, here, I'll show you. So as the target comes up, it will bottom out on the plates. See it there. So watch. The target's going to come up, and see how it peeks through this little hole? So this plate has fingers on it. And what these fingers do is they allow you to bend up and down to adjust how far the target's going to bottom out so it's flush on the other side, which I'll show you. So I'm just going to pop this on. Okay. And then we're going to adjust these targets so that they're all flush against the game. So let's drop them. Oh, they're pretty good. They actually look perfect. So what we want to do is we want the ball to roll without hanging up on anything, right? This one might have to come down a bit, but this one's flush, 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 just a little here. Okay, I'll show you how to adjust it. So what we're going to do, we're just going to move the fingers back here, up and down. So this one, I'm just going to use the screwdriver. And then my hand's on the other side, just feeling here. Perfect. 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 That's perfect. Okay. Let's see it on this side. All nice and flush. And they're all spaced properly too, so that they're doing what they're supposed to do. Now, let me show you a test. I'm just going to lift. Okay, the bar is down, so they should drop beautifully. Right where they should be. Okay, now we have to adjust the switches. Watch how this switch reacts when the target drops. It's going to push it out. See that push? Slight bend in it. It's making perfect contact. Okay, and then you just do the same for all the rest. This one's way out. This one's perfect at the end. That one there, watch. See how it's pushing it out? Okay. This one is good. This one is no good. That's good now. Perfect. Not touching. Touching. Okay. Done. Love it.